Elizabeth. Thank you for coming. Please sit.
Hi, Chris. It's such a long time since we have seen each other. Well, I came because you said it was urgent. Okay, also. What is the urgency? What do you tell me?
Elizabeth, I want to ask you if you heard about a certain man. His name is Martin Forrest. Have you heard about him?
Yes, I have heard about Mr. Martin Forrest. What do you want about him, dear? What's going on?
The thing is that I've been going a lot to the library, and I pick this book quite often, okay? And every time I go to the chapter which I'm gonna read, look what I find. Petals. Beautiful petals. And every time I find these petals, he is there in the library, and he looks at me. Yes, indeed, he looks at me. I have to confess, I have feelings for him, and I need to confirm if these petals comes from him.
Wow. Petals of a rose? Okay, that's very sweet. But why do you think it's him? Just because he's in the library? There are other people in the library too.
I told you, he looks at me. And isn't that strange that every time I pick my favorite book, which is the same, there are petals inside.
Well, I'm gonna say to you what I've heard about Mr. Martin, okay? I heard he is a player. He gets involved with games of playing cards for money. And he lost a lot of his father money. He's unresponsible. He should have been married by now. He should have had kids and stuff. And why he's single and playing cards like crazy? Be careful, my dear, about this. Be careful.
Listen, I'm not afraid. Before I knock my hammer down, I need to know more about. I can't just. We learned with our fathers, with our parents, that we should not judge someone without knowing the whole matter, the whole picture of something, and preferably from their own mouth, okay? So I don't want to judge him before time. All I need to know is this petals comes from him.
Okay, Chris, what do you want from me? It was just a question about him, or what do you want?
The Queen Margaret, is gonna give a dance for everyone, a public dance, and they'll be there, rich and poor, and all kinds of people, and I'm sure he will be there. Certainly he will be there. And we're gonna be there too. So I thought to prepare a letter today, and I'll deliver this letter at the dance point to you. Then you give it to him. Can you do this for me?
Chris, listen, you don't know this man. He can use your letter to ruin your reputation. And you know our society, you know families, how they are. They will think bad of you, and you will lose your chance to be married. You will lose your chance to be in a good family because they will think that you've been in his hands and other people's hands. You know how it is. Chris, you need to protect yourself. You need to value your reputation. It's very important that we are seen in a good way.
First of all, Elizabeth, I understand your concern. I completely understand. But I also understand that marriage, to marry someone is not the total price of something. It needs to be the person. It needs to be, and if this person's him, okay? I have just cast him away if he has problems with the cards. If he really does. So he's completely cast out of people forever and never have the chance to be heard. Somebody that comes with mercy. Give him a hand to strengthen him, to love him. Because I believe if it is in this kind of thing, he has an empty life and never met love, the real love. See, God's love, we learned that. God's love is reflected in us. If we don't carry God's love in us, how they can ever know God? I'm not afraid about my reputation. Listen, if he ruins my reputation, you know what I'm gonna do? I just forgive him. That's all I'm gonna do. It's not a shame to love. It's a shame, yes, to do not love, to misjudge somebody. That's a shame.
Okay, Chris, I'll do this for you, but I'm not responsible for the consequences, okay? If he ruins you and your parents comes to me and ask if I participate on something, please let me out of this. Okay, Chris? Okay, so we see each other in the dance. Okay? It was nice to come.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Indeed, it was nice to come and see you also. Thank you.
Inside. And I would like to know if these petals has to do with you, if you are the one who puts them there, or it's just a coincidence. It is true that if these petals comes from you, I would be very happy to know. Please, if I'm wrong, do not consider this letter and forgive me for sending this message. I hope my message is not inconvenient to you. Let me know your mind about this matter. With all respect, Miss Chris.
start the dance.
Chris, did you bring the letter?
Yes, I brought the letter.
Oh, he is here, Chris. He is here, and he is near us.
I see.
How do you feel?
I'm shaking. I'm so cold. I can barely stand on my feet. I hope these stairs lock this dance. All he gonna notice. Listen, I'm gonna start. Hold my hand. Uh-oh, he looked at me. I'm coming. Wait. Oh. Wow. The roses. It's the same color of the petals that was in the book. Oh, Martin. Oh my. Three pages. Wow. That was fast.
My grandma, she was 15 when she married the boy who would be my granddad, and he never even touched her until they said I do. And he finally took her hand and they feel a home with children. My daddy was the 16th one, and even after Granddad died, she never gave another her love. They don't make them like they used to. You don't hear stories like that these days. They don't make them like they used to. Kind of a love that lasts always. That's the kind of story that I want to write with you to prove we can't like they used to. If we can't make it like they used to. My daddy, he worked 2 jobs to make sure us 4 kids had what we needed, and Mama, she taught us all that God provided for those who believe. No, we did not have much, but they made sure we were always together, and even when times were tough, they taught us family is forever. They don't make them like they used to. You don't hear stories like that these days. They don't make them like they used to. The kind of love that lasts always. That's the kind of story that I want to write with you too. We can't make it like they used to. We can't make it like they used to. We are writing our story line by line, through good and bad times, and I pray we never stop until the last chapter is closed on this life, and when our grandchildren pull our memory off of the shelf, I hope they see we fought for things that matter. We loved until our last breath. May they say, oh, they don't make them like they used to. You don't hear stories like that these days. They don't make them like they used to. The kind of love that lasts always. That's the kind of story that I want to write with you too. We can't make it like they used to. We can't make it like they used to. Oh, we can't make it like they used to.
I have something to say from 1820 to the people of 2019. There is something missing, don't you think? What is missing? Nothing more, nothing less than light. Love grew cold because there is no light. We are anchor for those who are hurting. We are harbor for those who are lost. Sometimes it's not always easy. Bearing Calvary's cross. We've been ridiculed by those who don't know Him, and mocked by those who don't believe. Still I love standing up for my Jesus and for all that He's done for me. gospel of Jesus Christ. I am not afraid to be counted, and I'm willing to give my life. See, I'm ready to be all He wants me to give up on the wrong for the right. Oh, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. For every moment His hand has held mercy, for all the love that He showed all my life. A simple thanks doesn't say how I am feeling. I get tears in my eyes. So as for me, I'm gonna keep on believing in the one who's been so faithful to me. I'm not out to please this whole world around me. I've got my mind on eternity. I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I am not afraid to be counted, and I'm willing to give my life. See, I'm ready to be all He wants me to give up on the wrong for the right. Oh, I am not ashamed of the gospel. No, I am not ashamed of the gospel. I've got too much behind me to let this world blind me to some. He's a name, but to me He's my everything. I am not ashamed. I am not ashamed. I've got too much behind me to let this world blind me to some. He's a name, but to me He's my everything. I am not ashamed. I am not ashamed. I am not ashamed of Jesus Christ.
After 230 years in the same room, another Christiane, a mourning started again.
this morning to find a place that I don't recognize. What happened to the world when the innocence died? Who can help us? It can't be too late. We need a little piece of heaven right here, right now. It's gotta be a way. Let it be on earth as it is in heaven. Oh, yeah. The world's end, the love win, the battle in the hearts of every man. So we all stand as one under the sun. Let it be on earth as it is in heaven. We say in heaven, our Father never is a promise made. Not like heaven, whose tears never fall on her daughter's grave. We'll be in heaven when this life is done. Until we get there, we're right here, so right now. Let your kingdom come, let it be on earth as it is in heaven. Let the wars end, the love win, the battle in the heart of every man. So we all stand as one under the sun. Let it be on earth as it is in heaven. Father in heaven, when He comes so far, let Your will be done here. We'll start in my heart. We need to know to be where we are. Let it be on earth as it is in heaven.
What man and what woman would not enjoy that fun, that palpitation in the heart? These feelings does not exist anymore. At least not in the life of those who does not appreciate purity, does not appreciate clean relationships, clean things. Because all these things that a man and a woman enjoyed in those times, the year 1800, I just gave an example, but they were gifts of God. Yeah. Because in the world always has been darkness, even in the 1800s, 1700s, and so on. We deal with sin since the Eden garden. So sin always existed after the disobedience of man. But lawlessness, impurity has increased. Now the Bible talks about that technology would increase, knowledge would increase, and so impurity. And today I want to share this with you. I want to share verses that are prophetic verses that says things that it's just under your eyes. It's just under your nose. You can see and you can hear them, what people defend, what people see, what you see on TV, music, it's everywhere, everywhere. So I'd like to start in Ecclesiastes 1:9. It says, "The thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." So the evil and the good always has been there. It's just what I was saying. And then in Matthew 24:12, it's a prophetic verse. Jesus said that, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall grow cold." So the first thing to increase iniquity. What is iniquity? It's everything that is actually hurt someone is iniquity. Sin is something that hurts the heart of God and also the heart of man. You can ask for any woman today if they would find petals in their book when they go to a library regularly, what they would feel. The honor for one another is gone. The love, the care, the mercy, the preoccupation to hurt the other person, especially in relationships. People value more money these days and their professional success. In those times also there was a lot of pride and a lot of concern with these things. But now it's something is out of control. So I'd like to read for you also Matthew 24:22. Matthew 24:22 says, "And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." These days ainda hasn't been shortened. So it's something that is still gonna happen. Shortened how? For his coming. For his coming, for the tribulation that comes before his coming. And it is a tribulation that not even unbelievers will bear. The iniquity and the coldness will be so great. People gives hope to so many people and say, next year will be better. Next year will be better. But actually no. As the years go by, things get worse and get worse. And that's what this verse is saying. Except those days should be shortened. God cut off, stop the history. There should be no flesh be saved. Nobody would be saved actually. Why? Because the compromise today is too great. It's getting heavy to believe Jesus. In that time, 1800s, you see, she even mentioned Jesus on the table. But today, it's a crime. You talk God on the table, oh, you're done. Okay? It's getting tighter. Tighter for the believers. Why? Because we are lonely. This iniquity is increasing. And people are hating more God than ever. And that says in 2 Timothy 3. But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive. No respect for a woman anymore. No respect for the elders. No respect for father, mother. No. Disobedient to parents, to their parents, says ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal. They'll have no sensitiveness of, cannot do this to my child. I'll do it anyway. Something like this. Not lovers of the good, treacherous, harsh, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. God is against pleasure. Depends what kind of pleasure you're talking about. I have pleasure having my heart beating, being loved. Who doesn't like that? That's a pleasure. To do good also is a pleasure. It's a kind of pleasure that is dirty. That's what it is. Dirty pleasure. Having a form of godliness, but denying its power. Also inside of churches. Have nothing to do with such people. That's a hard thing to keep. Because we all need people in our lives. And start cutting off is sometimes very radical, because people think you're not the judge. You can't be judge. Who are you to think you're better than anybody else? But you can try the minds, the hearts of people by what they say, by what they defend. In the verse 6 says, they are the kind whom worm their way into homes and gain control over gullible women, who are loaded down with sins and are soothed by all kinds of evil desires. They are ready. They are ready to satisfy what you want. Always learning, but never able to come to the knowledge of truth. Always learning what? Anything. Anything. Just as Jannes and Jambres opposed Moses, so also these teachers oppose the truth. They are men of depraved minds, who, as far as the faith is concerned, are rejected. But they will not get very far because, as in the case of those men, their folly will be clear to everyone. So that's a verse that is prophetic. But I can see that happening now. Matthew 24:37 to 39. Matthew 24:37 to 39 says, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came, and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So these things will be, this disrespect and this lack of concern to take care of one another will carry out to the end. But these things will be worse and worse. It will increase. Second Thessalonians 2:3 says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin will be revealed, the son of perdition." It's talking about the literal Antichrist leader. But it's saying this does not gonna happen except it coming a falling away first. What is falling away is the falling of faith. How many believers do you know? How many people that suffers for being separated of everything that God hates? That's the true believer, okay? So a falling away will come first. Falling away, people that believed before. People that actually said yes to Jesus be Lord in their life. But somehow other things enter in the way and they lost the faith. They lost the first love, which is something that talks in Luke 21:34-36. "And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that the day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell in the face of the whole earth, including me and you. Watch you therefore, and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man." What a terrible time now. What a terrible time. See, I'm in a country that there's nobody's putting a gun on my head if I say I believe Jesus. But they're putting other kind of guns. Loneliness, lack of family, other things, other guns saying, okay, you want Jesus? Be alone. Be all alone. Worthy to escape all these things. I could let the pain lead and just say, God should know that I need this. So I don't believe God doesn't want me to be happy. So to be happy these days is an idol, is the thing that it's a must above, beyond anything that is right. Beyond anything that is right, I heard someone saying before, doesn't matter how many times we get married, the most important thing is to be happy. So smashing the heads of their wives, their children, their husbands, for the sake of their happiness. But then those who cannot escape from these things, cannot not be able to stand before the Son of Man. Wanting or not, that's the truth. 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know you not your own selves, how that Jesus Christ is in you, except you be reprobates. What a hard thing to test ourselves these days, and be honest. I love when I hear a friend saying, Chris, I feel miserable because I wanted more. I'm not I'm not happy with my faith. I'm not happy with the way I'm going. That's healing. It's hardening her heart to wake up, and if she feels like that, she's seeking the right, and God will help her. So He will finish the work He started in her life. Could be in your life too. And it is in my life. Ephesians 5:3. But fornication and all uncleanness and covetousness, something that you want. It's other people's things. Let it not be once named among you, as become saints separated. Fornication. The whole is filled with fornication. Fornication is the kind of relationship where people live together without being married. Most people does not feel the wound and does not feel that is wrong because they don't know the truth. The truth of God did not reach their hearts. So who is there to say you're wrong about it? If not a friend that knows. And all uncleanness. On the other day, my daughter was watching a cartoon. I have put in the cartoon. I didn't know what was the story, but suddenly my daughter started crying and saying, "Oh, the baby, the baby, the baby." When I looked at the cartoon, it was a picture of somebody holding a baby and have the sun right in the face of the baby. The face became so red and so painful. The baby started crying. What kind of cartoon is that? Why to show this to a child? That they are dying or something? That kind of thing. Another cartoon also, Barbie cartoon, that she watched, and the magic was so aggressive in the cartoon that she got really in tears. Then I never put that again. So it's hard to select things and to give them, because children get things very easy and very fast. When you know, they already know. And it is hard to be. We need to see these things first to give to them. What is in these things? Uncleanness. And they become unclean, their minds, their hearts, and they grow, become even worse. So it starts from little, actually. 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. What now? Know you not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which you have of God, and you are not on your own? For you are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and your spirit, which are God's. That's very difficult. Glorify God in our bodies. Especially when it is difficult for people that have someone and for people that doesn't have anybody. That's the truth. Because we don't forget our nature and that we have nature needs. But how to glorify God if the time is so tough? Even if He doesn't provide. if he doesn't provide, it's because he wants to burn something first. He provides and get you to the point where your life is pleasing to him. Is it necessary, or it's a religion? It's necessary. Otherwise, you have no faith, no peace. You're not going anywhere. Psalm 10:4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not all in his thoughts. It never has been so much like now. This will not seek after God, and God is not in all his thoughts. All from morning to evening. From morning to evening. So before, even families that did not have faith, but had the habit to, read a psalm or talk about the Lord at some point with their family on the table. But today, most families sit down, spend maybe 2 hours on the table, and all the talks are money, career, properties, gossiping, all these things. Daniel 11:32. And such as wickedly break the covenant shall he cause to sin by flattery, but the people that do know their God shall prevail and prosper. What a hope is this! What a hope. Prevail and prosper in times of unfaithful people, in times of coldness, is really considered a luxury. It is considered something supernatural. Can be, some people say, this prosperity is linked to money or something like that. Maybe it is also. But prosper is that their purpose is being accomplished no matter what. There is no bigger joy in a time being in someone's life than when you know that you're fulfilling your purpose. That you don't need to, you're not selling your purpose. That it's not for sale. That God is providing in a way. You trusted him, he provided. And so you can be what he called you to be. That's prosperity. So this video, it is more to for you to remember that there was an innocence and there was a beauty before, because somehow God's word was there, active in someone's life. Okay? Have a good weekend. God bless you.